Hey, Mark and Joey here Saturday morning, and Saturday morning is our cut show. No cut, though, just like last week. So, anyway, it's going to be a fantastic day. We're in the final week here of the Fedex Cup, the championship, $15 million to the winner, and it's turning out to be exactly what the PGA was looking for. But first of all, before we get into that, I want to remind you about the website, ultimatesportschannel.com. Joey, what do they see when they go to the website?
You're going to see so much cool stuff. Oh, first, we got a full going sports feed that if you want your daily sports updates on anything, check it out there. We got it going constantly 24/7. But more importantly, we got our sponsors that help this show happen, and please check them out. And if you're interested in any of the product, we always got discounts for you. And there's also some great stuff for your kid, as junior profiling is for your athletic sons and daughters.
Junior profile.
Yeah, so there you go.
NCAA guys.
Great website, ultimatesportschannel.com. Check it out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you could do that. Also shows you everywhere we are now, because now we're not only video podcasts, as we've said, but we're also on audio on about 8 different podcast channels now. So check that out so you can listen in the car or at home or where you don't want to download and use data. That's all available to you now. So take a look at that. Okay, let's get into the week here. Exactly what they wanted. Brooks at the top, JT second. You got Shopley, a young guy, in there third. What a race to the last 2 days is it going to be?
Well, I mean, it's really worked out. I mean, there's so many questions about the format, and even Tom was like, I can guarantee I've never slept on a Wednesday lead. And even Brooks said it was weird for him on Thursday, kind of having to play, catch up and really get going. And he said, he needed to make birdies, and it was a slow start for him. But, after that, everyone was so cool coming into yesterday saying, okay, now it's a regular event. This feels more normal. And this could definitely be the situation after a Thursday. So they felt more comfortable. It tightened up a lot more. Everyone played a lot more tight. And the scores weren't as low, I think, because of it. Now it felt more like a regular golf tournament. They were like, oh, hold on a second. Okay, this is what I'm used to. And but it's worked out perfectly for the PGA Tour. They really couldn't have asked for a better start to this tournament.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It could have gone so many ways. Justin Thomas could have shot 8 under the first day, blown the field out of the water. Everyone could have played so bad that maybe, he was the only one left standing kind of at that number. But you know what? In the good golf gods way, they said, no, we're going to give you a perfect start to this event, which is all the guys kind of that need to be there are there. Now, really, only 5 guys are still in play, but they're the 5 biggest names in the world, so it's just going to be a great finish.
However, we were talking on our show Wednesday that this golf course was so tough that nobody could catch up, and yet, 3 -6s we've had in total? Reavie yesterday, surprisingly, right into the tournament.
Yeah, yesterday played even tougher. The course actually played plus 20.
But someone can score, though. That's the thing.
Someone can score. Now, he was really early. If you're not early, it's almost impossible to score on this golf course. That's why I thought this format would work, because I thought JT going off last, it was going to be hard for him to go.
Didn't Brooks go -3 or 4 yesterday to get to the lead?
Yeah, but -3 is very respectable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about typical PGA Tour golf. Guys are not shooting 8 under on this golf course. And even now going the weekend, guys won't shoot 6 under on this golf course. And if they will, they're not even important in the tournament right now. So that's my real point. My point is, the reason why I thought it would work is I didn't see a leader teeing off late in the afternoon being able to go shoot 6 to 8 under. And Shoffley was the closest at 4 under. He shot 6 the first day.
Early.
But even he backed up to a 1 under yesterday. It's a tough golf course, and that's why I think they thought this format would work out. 3 4 unders? Yeah, I mean, normally it's 12 under for 4 days. That's 4 3 unders.
And the greens are going to get faster.
That's what I expect.
It's not supposed to rain. Rough is growing. So the last 2 days here are going to be really tough.
Of course, it's going to be exactly the same. And if anything, they're going to make the pins a little harder.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, it's going to get a little bit more difficult. If there's any wind at all, you got to remember, they've had flat golf course, meaning no wind. There's been no wind up there. So they've played this golf course with no wind, just the golf course to itself. And it's held up to, a couple 6 unders, but really mostly around 3s and 4s, maybe even 2s. And a lot of guys also shooting really poorly. So it's been a perfect golf course. All has to do with the Bermuda rough and these fast slick greens. So they're going to keep it going. And if anything, they might throw a few more harder pins out there. And, we'll see going forward. They got some impressive holes. Obviously, the par 3s are very impressive.
Yeah. That one yesterday over water, 222 yards. Oh, my God.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's easier than Island Green because it's in theory bigger. But holy smokes, they're hitting 5 irons. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But, you got that par 3, you got 9, which Chesreave got a hole-in-one on with a hybrid.
Yeah.
But that was also
the
240.
Hybrid, eh?
And then they had 2 par 5s. I've always said this. You talk about lengthening courses, just make it par 70. But,
yeah.
anyways.
That's another discussion.
Yeah, it's another discussion for another day. The PGA Tour has won. So happy because I didn't want any talk about how stupid the format was or this and that. The scores are there. It's a regular tournament now. 2 days left. Brooks has a 1-shot lead, and we're going to have a fiery finish and hopefully, finally, a close one and maybe even a playoff. But something that definitely is going to be entertaining. In a golf course like this, no one's ever wrapped it up.
So for those who haven't been on the watch Thursday and Friday, give me a rundown 1 through 5 here. What do we got?
Well, we had Justin Thomas. He started at -10, so he is actually 3 under through 2 days, which in the regular tournament last year, he'd be kind of out of it. I mean, there'd be guys at 7. But instead,
he's not in the lead.
He's 1 off the lead.
Yeah, give me the top 5, 1 through 5.
With the starting,
explain
where they
are.
Where
the tournament is.
Yeah, okay, so Brooks is at -13.
Right.
He started at -7. So he's 5 under. He's at 6 under. He started at -7. He's at -13 now with a 1-shot lead. Over Thomas, who started at 10. So he's only 2 under for 2 days. He started at -10. Rory started at -6, I believe, and now he's at -12 as well. So he's 6 under for 2 days. And then you got Schauffele started at -4. He's 7 under for 2 days at -11. And then Paul Casey, who also is 7 under, now at -9. That means Patrick Cantlay, who actually started second at -8, has fallen back. Patrick Reed, who started at -5, has fallen back. So a couple guys have fallen back that had the advantages. And then, of course, as usual, a couple guys without as much advantage moved on up here. And we got a top board of Brooks at 13, JT, Rory at 12, Schauffele at 11, and Casey rounds out our top 5 at -9. And truthfully, that's who I believe still has a chance to win the tournament. I don't believe going down anyone else does, but we'll see going forward. But those are your top 5.
All right, there we go. There's the top 5 that we believe have a shot. So we're looking at our wagers as well. If you watched our sports wagering show on Wednesday, if not, go back and listen to it. We're red hot on the board again. Let's talk about who you have. So this is confusing for people.
Yeah.
Who you had to win the FedEx Cup, and then there's a separate tournament going on, which is the Tour Championship. From our perspective, there's betting on that, which is without the advantage of the strokes going in.
Kinda. I mean, you win the Tour Championship, you win the FedEx Cup. It's actually just
but there's a bet. Let's get back to our sports wagering show. Yeah. There's a FedEx Cup bet, and there's a bet without the strokes.
Right.
So when you're talking about betting, you're talking about winning the 4 days, and then you're talking about winning the FedEx Cup. So it's 2 bets.
Right.
So let's look at your first bet, which is to win the FedEx Cup.
Yeah. So I had Rory and Schauffele. Obviously they're both right there. Rory wasn't crazy pick. Obviously, he's one of the best in the world. I actually thought he would have an advantage starting back because he's not been proven to be a front runner. So he gets to be 1 off the league with 2 days to go. Really what I'd like to see from Rory to make me believe he can win this is something crazy today. Like a 6 under today would probably give him a hefty lead going into Sunday. He has struggled going into Sundays. So I don't know exactly where his mindset's at. I'd say you either want a big lead, though, if you're Rory, or still being 1 behind, maybe going tomorrow might be a good thing for him.
Yeah.
One thing he has not done is won in the final group in a long time, even at Canada and the Players' Championship. He had never been. No, actually, in Canada he shot 10 under in the final day, but it was a couple groups before the final group, and the Players, he wasn't in the lead, even though he was in the second to final group and went on to win that one too. So. He has not been well in the final group, so for him, he wants to be second group maybe to last, and then that still gives him a chance probably, assuming that most of these scores are going to be around 2-3 under, or have a big lead and shoot something ridiculous today, but I think it's going to be more around the 2 under range today for him. Schauffele, he's still, honestly, in my mind, he's been playing the best, obviously. He's 7 under par and right in the tournament, but this course, he has never shot an over par on this golf course. Even yesterday, when he was 2 over par, he went birdie eagle to finish at 1 under on those last 2 holes. He draws the ball, so does Rory, but he does it more consistently, and I still like him going forward. I still would say I'd like him even better than Rory to go out and win this event and win both sides of it. So Schauffele is still my guy. I think he's in the final group going into Sunday. I think it's him and Brooks. I think JT and Rory are in the second final group. We'll see what Casey does, but those are my 2 picks. I had Rory and Schauffele. I'm happy with them. I think they're going to keep it going, but I think Schauffele plays himself into the final group today. I think he likes this course by far better than anybody at the top of that board.
And we were both on Schauffele as far as he was heard 25-1.
Yep.
Was the value bet going into the event. a guy who loves this golf course, has played well, won 2 years ago on this golf course.
7-5.
So, we both had him going in. He would be the one we want. 25-1, we'll take that. I had Brooks while you had Rory. Obviously, all the explanation I gave in the sports wagering show, which you can look at, but he's an obvious peaker at the right time. He's done it again. It's just amazing to watch him play golf and the way he can do this all the time. I don't see him stopping at all. I'm afraid he's going to be the winner. Not afraid. I picked him. He's 5-1, which is not bad. But I'd rather see Shopley for our betting him win because of the odds. Yeah. So there you go. I've got Brooks and Shopley. Joey's got McIlroy and Shopley. We're right there in the top 5 guys.
Without the stroke, Shopley.
Well, that's going to be next. Well, next, so that's the Fedex Cup. Next is who's going to win the tournament without the strokes benefiting them at the end. So that's just purely the 4 rounds here. We both are on Shopley again. He's -7, so he's our leader. Who else do you have?
Well, actually, you have Paul Casey, who's tied with Shopley. Yeah. So, you got to be really happy about that. My guys aren't really in it. I got him guys at -2.
So I've got both guys right there, top 2 guys. And as I explained again, you go back to the show, why I picked Casey. And it's proving to be exactly the reasons that I thought of. So there you go.
A real quick thing on Casey, if you want to see something funny, go check a video out. On 18 yesterday, he had the wrong yardage. He hit it way over the green. And he stood there like perplexed, right? And then he turns to his caddy. His caddy just fell over because he messed up the yardage for him. And he ended up making par. But the greatest thing about Paul Casey is we take ourselves so seriously so much of the time, golfers do. He just looked at his caddy and almost fell over laughing at him because he knew his caddy made a mistake. This is the type of guy that you want to emulate your attitude around. Yeah. I think,
with $50 million on the line, any other golfer would have fired his caddy.
Oh, my God. So that's why I just want to say, hey, man, Paul Casey out there, he is loving life, and it's great to see. I've become a fan of him recently. He's gotten his name out there more. You see him on TV all the time. One thing is, he is the happiest guy ever, and in this moment, like I said, so many guys would look through the caddy, but I'm upset. The caddy realized he made a mistake, puts his hands on his face. The first thing Casey does, not get mad, he just starts laughing, and so does the caddy, and they laugh on the way up. And unfortunately, he made par, and then you saw Casey get a little bit upset. But, it's just that attitude. You keep going, guys. Have a positive attitude. You're out there playing golf. It's just great. But yeah, so we got a packed leaderboard here. Our guys are all over the top of it. We're hoping for a good weekend. And please, 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 can we get a playoff?
Yeah.
I'm desperate.
$15 million
playoff. Let's go,
Quite honestly, we talked about match play as the way to actually do the FedEx Cup. I'd love to see 2 guys break out from the field, JT and Brooks, and have a $15 million Sunday. Would be amazing to watch the 2 of them fight with each other all the way down.
4 of these guys are amazing.
So it'll be amazing to see. Either way, it's going to be fantastic. We're going to be back Monday morning with our recap show as always. Enjoy these next 2 days. Golf starts right back up in September. It's not like it's gone for long, but this is the culmination of the golf season. So
this is the big event.
We want to see a fantastic finish for $15 million. Just a fantastic price. So there you go. We'll talk to you on Monday. Enjoy the next 2 days.